The second point I wanted to make was basically to share the knowledge of this opportunity or this possibility of resolving disputes related to trademarks and internet domains that exists under what's known as the UDRP, or Uniform Domain Name Resolution Policy. So the scenario typically would be that you are the owner of a trademark, you are selling goods or services in the market using that trademark, but someone else has managed to register a top-level domain, typically a .com domain, using your trademark .com. And that's sometimes described as cyber squatting. And there are rules to protect the trademark owner against this kind of conduct, but if you are forced to, for example, sue someone in a U.S. state who is doing this, that could be very costly and very time-consuming. So the UDRP, the Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy, provides a fast and relatively inexpensive means of resolving that kind of dispute. There are three main requirements for you to be able to do that, which are that, one, you have to be the owner of a trademark, and two, the other party must be using it in a manner that's illegitimate. So they don't have a real legitimate reason for using your trademark in the manner that they're doing. And the third requirement is, and that's probably the one where you're going to have the most problems, is that the registration of the domain name by the other party must have been made in bad faith. It must have been what's called an abusive registration. And that means that if you are involved in a relatively tricky dispute where it's not completely clear that they were never entitled to use this trademark or the domain, then maybe the UDRP is not available for you. But if it is, if you can show that at the time they made the domain registration, or if at a later time when they renewed it, at that point they had bad faith, i.e. they were aware of the existence of your trademark and that they were using it in a illegitimate fashion, then you probably have enough to show this bad faith, this abusiveness in their conduct, and that would allow you to use the UDRP. And the main point here being, where you can spend upwards of $200,000 or more on pursuing this in a lawsuit, the UDRP is quick. It involves a small fee of, say, $1,500 to the provider of the process, and then probably lawyer's fees in the amount of $10,000 or close to something like that. So you have a discrepancy of a factor 10 probably in cost.